This 1970 Plymouth Superbird left the factory with a 375 horsepower engine, 4-barrel, which is standard by the way, a 4-speed manual transmission, and an EK2 Vitamin C Orange. It's wearing most of its original paint, and it happens to be the subject of this week's autopsy report. Now remember, my friends out there in TV land, a fender tag is read from the bottom to the top and from the left to the right. This is the very first Superbird we've ever done an autopsy report on. The primary reason for that is it also happens to be the first Lynch Road built car that we've ever done a autopsy report on. There are codes in there that are different than every other fender tag we've ever featured. A little bit difficult to understand, took me a while to get there, and these take longer, and that's why I'm doing this one. Now, in all seriousness, when it comes to this Superbird decoding, the Lynch Road, I've never liked the Lynch Road. All the Superbirds are built at Lynch Road, but many other cars were too. I believe the Purple Roadrunner was a Lynch Road car.
Oh, yeah.
So it's weird because the fender tag doesn't have nearly as much information on it as all the other conventional ones, the Hamtramck, the LA, the St. Louis. But it offers information that none of those do, and that information is, at a glance, kind of cryptic. So in this case, this really is Mark learning along with you guys at home. And you should pay attention too.
Yeah, I will.
Okay, good. 4 eyes. So the bottom part of this tag looks like every other fender tag we've ever done. It isn't until you get to the last 2 lines at the top that everything changes. So let's start with the simple stuff. E86. That is the 375 horsepower 440 Super Commando. D21, that is the 18 spline heavy duty 4-speed manual transmission, featuring of course the pistol grip shifter. RM23, those are the first 4 characters of the vehicle identification number. The R tells us that it's in the Belvedere family. The M, that it's a medium price class, which all Roadrunners are medium price class. This car started life as a regular Roadrunner. And 23 represents a 2-door hardtop. Now this is a little different than the other cars because they usually break out the 3 middle ones from the rest of the VIN. In this case we have U0A178641. The U is the 375 horsepower 440 Super Commando. The 0 represents the model year of the car, in this case 1970. And the A is the assembly plant. Again, we've never featured this before, Lynch Road. The rest of it is the unique sequence or VIN to this car, 178641. Moving up a line, EK2 Vitamin C Orange, beautiful color. By the way, wearing most of its original paint, not all of it, but a good portion of it. P6XA, premium price class, bucket seats, all vinyl in charcoal and black. Now in 1970 it wasn't just black, it was charcoal and black. TX9, now that's the upper door frame paint. B30, all Superbirds are going to have a B30 for the scheduled production date, even though they weren't all built B30, which is November 30th, 1969. They were scheduled to be, but that's not when they were built. The last one on this row is J97466. That's the vehicle order number. Some people call it the J number. All Superbirds on this vehicle order number will have a J in front of it. If you don't have a J, you don't have a Superbird. The next series are a unique vehicle order number given to this car that you can trace back to all the J series cars and figure out when this car actually was assembled at the Lynch Road plant. Going up a notch to V19. V19 represents a special order, all vinyl black roof. The Superbird, because of the back window on it, has a unique vinyl top on it. All Superbirds have it. It was mandatory. That's the way it was. That code is also unique in V19. You'll never see a white vinyl top on one, an orange vinyl top, blue one. You'll never see a paisley top. All tops were black vinyl tops. It was mandatory with the A13 package, which is what gave you a Superbird. V88. This deletes the 1970 Plymouth Roadrunner transverse stripe that goes across the trunk, because that was standard. A lot of people think that the dust trail stripe was standard. It wasn't. The transverse stripe across the back end of the 70 Roadrunner was standard. They didn't want it on the Superbird, so they killed it. They knew with the A13 package it was going to get the huge letters that call out Plymouth. Next lineup is the last time we see anything we're familiar with. 2.6. That means it's a 26-inch radiator. Max cooling mandatory on all Superbirds, as is power disc brakes and some other features. But that represents our 956 radiator. After that, these three series of 3-digit numbers represent the first one, the engine, the second one is the rear axle code, and the last one is the transmission code. Different, we've never seen that before on any of the other cars. So 114 represents the 440 Magnum or Super Commando engine that puts out 375 horsepower. That's also the last 3 digits of the assembly number. 083 is our 3.54 Power Lock Dana 60 rear axle. Again, you'll see that stamped on these when they're restored, or if you were to clean up an original one. Last 3 digits of the assembly number for that. 676 is the 18 spline heavy duty or Hemi 4-speed transmission, and you've seen us many times duplicate those numbers on the side of a transmission because it is also the last 3 digits of the assembly number. Last line, top row, 29149. This is what we call, and you'll never see it anywhere else, a gate number or a gate sequence. There's actually 2 things going on there. That 29 represents the gate by which this body was built. So here's how it works. At Lynch Road, they had these great big machines that came down from the sky, amazingly, and they were called side gates. And the side gate is what they used to build the basic body, starting with the front subsection, the rear subsection, the floor pan, under seat pan, and they built the car out on this unit as it went down the aisleway there, and they built this whole unit out on a side gate, or other people call it a gate. Each one of those had a number. I think there were 32 possibly of those in that plant. It was a very, very large plant. This car, the basic body, was welded together as a shell at gate 29. The 149 next to that means it was the 149th car to be built at gate 29. 178522. Internal sequence order number assigned to this car. Very close in numbers to the VIN, which is 178641. So as an empty body shell, it went into an area called body in white. That's when it was assigned the 178522. So that's a lot of information there, folks. I appreciate you watching. That ends this week's autopsy report. If you have any questions or concerns, reach out to Tony D'Agostino. That's right, Tony D'Agostino. I would encourage you to reach out to him in case I got anything wrong or whatever. Not that I got the information from him, because I didn't, but now that he's retired, he has nothing to do. Hello ghouls, Mark Warman here, the Ice Tray from Graveyard Carz. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like it, drop a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. We have fantastic stuff coming up, and some of it you've never seen before. I gotta go insult people. Hey Alice!